You're listening to the ESO Network, your station for all things geek.
Exploring the multiverse of pop culture.
This is Podcasserole.
An Adam and JP show.
Hey, look, it's episode 249.
Are you sure it's 249?
No.
It's already time for 249.
It's 249 at Podcasserole. Brought to you this week by the ESO Amazon store. Shop there now, esopodcast.com. Go check it out. Get yourself a copy of the Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 soundtrack.
Yeah, do that.
You can do that.
I wish they still had the Doritos bags, but no longer.
No.
Those were awesome for a few minutes.
If you're still into buying CDs.
Yeah.
I bought a CD recently.
What?
Yeah.
Are you serious?
I think I have it in here.
Why? Who? How? Why? Where? Who's selling CDs?
I couldn't find. I bought it at a bookstore.
Wow.
What's the bookstore?
Books A Million?
It was not Books A Million.
Barnes & Noble.
Barnes & Noble, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, because I can't find this online. So I bought the...
Weird. What?
The Music of DC Comics Volume 2.
What is that?
It's just different themes from various DC properties over the years.
Weird.
Yeah.
I haven't held a CD in probably a decade.
Yeah, that's a brand new CD, my friend.
Oh, I want to smell it.
Yeah. Does it smell like a CD?
I guess so. Wow, I'm reading an insert. This is weird.
Yeah, these things are cool. They're CDs. You put them in a CD player.
It's just...
Or you put them in your computer and put them on your phone, which
Honestly,
is what I did.
I forgot what it felt like.
Yeah.
I did.
It's pretty neat. I think this is a poster. Oh, it is.
Oh, wow.
It's a DC hero poster.
Where do you put it? Oh, like in your car?
The CD or the poster?
The CD. I'm trying to think where I'd even play a CD right now. This is my Xbox, maybe?
Well, I put it in my computer and then downloaded it to my phone.
I got you. Uh-huh.
That's all I've done with this CD. But, yeah, it's pretty cool.
Wow, so at that point, you can kind of just sell it. You should have got it at Walmart. Did people do that? Buy CDs from Walmart?
And then just take it back?
Burn them and take it back?
I guess you could do that.
It
was pretty cheap, so I didn't. Yeah, I mean, it's got everything from the original Batman theme from the 60s to there's the Superman theme from John Williams from the 70s to Blake Neely stuff from Flash and Arrow.
And so Barnes & Noble has a CD section.
Yeah, they got a whole music section.
Wow.
It's fun to go look at. There's a lot of albums, too. There's a lot of vinyl.
Wow.
This was the big Barnes & Noble.
Yeah.
At, not to be too local, but Cool Springs.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So they have a huge music section.
Wow.
And I found that. There was one copy. I was like, oh, I've been looking for this.
Wow.
Yeah, so you could probably find that in the Amazon store.
Yeah, probably.
At esopodcast.com. If you want to support Podcasserole, you could... Did I say Podcasserole at the beginning, or did I say the Adam and JP show?
I think it's the Adam and JP show. It's all right, though.
What is wrong with me?
You're having a different day. It's all right. Because a little behind the scenes there, it took you, 3 or 4 takes to get
to even get the episode number right.
It's fun because, whenever people hear that, they're screaming, what is this?
Yeah.
And so now, if they have some patience, they listen to the show and see we rectified it during the episode.
This is what happens. This is what happens when we take a week off.
That's true. Yeah, we took just a leisurely break.
Uh-huh.
We had things going on.
If you want to support our show, Podcasserole, and Adam and JP show, you can go to patreon.com/podcasserole, where we just recorded our Guardians of the Galaxy spoiler review.
Yeah.
It will only be available there.
Our full thoughts with spoilers in that review only.
Without spoiling anything,
Yeah.
in 30 seconds or less.
Yes.
Take your time. I don't care. Your thoughts on Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2?
I loved Guardians of the Galaxy, the first one. It was, when it came out, my favorite Marvel Cinematic Universe movie. I love this one even more so it's taking the new mantle of that.
Yeah.
Loved it so. I don't understand the hatred it's getting online. It's not negative reviews, but people are kind of saying it's
the internet. All it is hate.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
But
I don't look at any of that.
I know. I don't agree with it, but it's my favorite. My favorite Marvel Cinematic Universe movie at this day in my life. Mark it down.
It was a great movie. I loved it. I still like the first one slightly more.
Yeah.
But it's a fun summer movie. Go see it.
Yeah.
It's very emotional.
Oh, big time.
Like I said on the Patreon show, this is a better story than the first Guardians of the Galaxy. I mean, I think some of the Ronin stuff in the first one...
Very forgettable. Great movie, but forgettable villain. And this one, I think this villain sticks.
Yeah.
I'll remember that.
I think...
Oh.
I believe that, is one of the most memorable, like you said, one of the most memorable Marvel villains.
Yeah.
Right up there with Loki.
Uh-huh.
And if you don't know Loki's a bad guy.
Agreed. I think it's all about the actors they use to portray the character.
Yep.
Because, we have Loki as Tom Hiddleston.
Oop.
Ronan is... Ronan is who? Exactly. Second beep, huh? Bleep.
Yeah. There's going to be a lot of work I have to do on this
Yeah,
episode before it goes up. Yeah, it's a great movie.
Yeah.
A great, fun movie to start the summer out with. I will say it's probably better than I expected it to be. But still, and if you want to hear my minor nitpick complaints,
such nitpicking.
Go listen to the Patreon show.
Man.
Patreon.com/podcastroll.
Such nitpicking.
Hey, sorry we weren't here last week.
Yeah, it happens.
Do you want to explain why we weren't here? There's a lot going on.
Yeah, a lot of things.
We had a birthday party that we went to.
A birthday party. Guardians happened. That was part of the formula.
That was part of it.
Guardians happened. A birthday party. Weddings.
Weddings we had to go to.
Festivals all weekend long.
I had some meetings.
You did?
That I'll talk about on Tuesday's show.
Yeah.
Hopefully, good meetings.
Yeah, hopefully so. But important meetings nonetheless.
So yeah, sorry. And again, this is like a labor of love, and sometimes, as with anybody, real life gets super busy for weeks on end, and we, can't fulfill our obligations for something that we don't get paid for.
Sometimes you take days off from actual paid work.
Yeah.
Why would you take days off from non-paid work?
So I think that's good though.
Yeah.
I think every season we should take a week off. Now I know we do at Christmas.
Yeah.
But I think in the summer, we should take a summer break. Like that was our spring break.
Summer break. Yeah.
Yeah, we should take a summer break.
Yeah. I'm down.
Yeah.
The quarterly breaks.
2 or 3 weeks.
Because we do put out two over hour-long episodes a week. So I think most people don't do that.
That's right. I don't think you can argue with the dedication that we have to this.
Agreed.
But yeah, sorry we weren't here last week.
Yeah,
I got some messages.
Yeah.
Hey, where are you guys?
Shut up.
Leave me alone.
Signed, Podcast Roll.
I'm watching Guardians of the Galaxy.
Pretty much.
Signed, Podcast Roll.
Signed, the Adam and JP show.
And Adam and JP show. So speaking of the Adam and JP show and various shows that we've done over the years, at our Patreon page, we're trying to build our archives up. Now, they're selective episodes. It's not like, hey, this is the first one. Though, right now, you can go listen to, if not the first, one of the first podcasts we were recording.
Do you want to?
It's interesting. But yeah, that we're doing selective archived episodes at patreon.com/podcastroll. A lot of P's.
A lot of it.
Patreon.com/podcastroll. Go for $1 a month. I am having a hard time today. For $1 a month, you can access the archives that we're putting up there. So I thought I would share a little bit of what went up this week. And
I'm so curious. It's always a surprise to me, too.
This goes back to December of 2011.
Ooh. Now, when you hear these, are you in shock and awe?
I cringe the entire time. And this could be the worst we've ever played.
Why are we doing this? Why?
On here.
Why?
So it was the end of the year.
Yeah.
We were getting towards Christmas. We thought it would be fun if in December of 2011 we made some predictions for the year 2012 that we were going into.
Yeah.
And we ripped off Conan O'Brien to do it.
The final Twilight movie will be released, resulting in teenagers obsessing over something else for the next 5 years. It's time for Where's Waldo to make a comeback.
In the year 2012. Rod Blagojevich will report to prison. After a few awkward months, he will return to his old tricks of selling a seat, but this time for cigarettes and potted meat. He'll be known as Hot Rod Blago.
Wow.
In the year I love it when we do the politics.
And this is why you don't do dated jokes, kids.
12.
So
wow.
Yeah.
Wow, that's a name I haven't heard in a long time.
Rod Blagojevich.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Wowee.
Wow, we were doing the
Oh, man. And that's funny. I'm not saying we're trailblazers. The podcast was around at least a decade before we even started that. But in 2011, the podcast word wasn't around like it is now. You don't have celebrities doing it. You don't have NPR making multi-millions every week on their podcast. So at that time, it was very much like a guerrilla radio deal to it.
Yeah.
And you did what you
guerrilla
want.
radio.
Yeah.
That's what we should have called it.
You did what you want when you want. And it's just funny how things have changed.
It is very funny. Also in that week,
Uh-huh.
and again, I had no idea. Like, I remember this, and it's something that comes up every now and then. I had no idea it was that old. And I'm going to ask you, using the best memory of this as you have, can you set up the YouTube video for The Whistler?
That was that long ago? The Whistler?
Yeah.
Wow.
December 2011.
Was it on Sally Jesse Raphael? Was it the show it was on?
I think it was. I think it was just some local daytime show.
It was some talk show
in some local market.
Yeah, but this guy was a fantastic whistler, and so it was kind of like a little talent show vibe to it. And they brought him on stage, and he whistled his favorite tune, and it went on for way too long, but it was fantastic. The whole time you're listening to this, you see crowd shots and kids trying to do the whistles. But the whole time there's like kind of weird circus acts going on the outside of bowling balls being stacked in a kid pool and all kinds of crazy stuff. But the Whistler will never be forgotten.
And this is what it sounded like in 2011. I would guess that this is probably from the late 80s, early 90s the video. This is a little long, but you have to hear everything if you missed it back in 2011.
You totally got to see this. We'll put it up on the page for sure.
How do you do that? How do you have your mouth completely open, but yet you can still whistle?
Maybe he's got a cavity. Whistle through the passage.
That's a funny joke, Adam. That's a funny joke.
And the faces he makes are just fabulous.
I've got to learn to whistle like this because I'm a whistler. I love to whistle.
It's like a full mouth whistle.
It is. He's not doing the usual pucker.
And the kids love it.
They do. The adults, not so much.
A little vibrato. The host has no idea what's going on.
Oh, man. And the wrap up.
But to me, this is the best part of the entire clip coming up here.
That's wonderful. Wasn't that good? Wasn't that good? Are you tired? Are you thirsty? Does it make you thirsty?
Well, I was up there. I was thinking, wow, I should have taken a drink of water before.
First, right.
Yes.
You
keep your pucker up if it's not drinking.
You got to lubricate your pucker. There goes the balls again.
You're trying to stack up.
We'll be back.
You got to keep your pucker. There goes the balls again. This is going on the Facebook page. It's called Best Talk Show Ever on YouTube.
Because it's not... half of the humor is in there unless you see it. Because what happens when she says, there goes the balls again, there's, for some reason, almost like a sandbox with no sand in it on set, and they're stacking bowling balls up on it.
And then there's a guy in a referee shirt. There goes the balls again.
Try to keep your pucker up. There go the balls again.
All these years later, that
man.
is still funny to me.
It still hurts me. Oh.
In the years since, we've gone back and chipped in on the Whistler. And,
oh, man.
I think he fell on hard times, Daddy.
Yeah, he kind of has a Scott Hall kind of vibe now.
Yeah.
He really does. He's on the beach singing about his peanut butter baby. He's my peanut butter baby.
Now, when he goes to local parks and performs, he's usually drinking a beer while he does it.
Pretty much, yeah.
Wow.
It's weird because it's not your traditional whistle. His mouth, he's basically smiling. A big open mouth smile the whole time, but he's still whistling. Oh, the Whistler. I almost forgot about. I guess I did forget about him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can go. And also that week, that's available now on Patreon, you can hear us play the Whistler video for the first time. And another first on that episode, since it's late December, we listened to the intro to the Star Wars Christmas special.
Oh, wow.
We've been doing that since our very first December.
Wow.
And that episode is proof of it.
Wow.
Also, more winners and losers from that week, too.
Oh, yeah.
Win here, win there.
Win everywhere. That's fun stuff.
So go to patreon.com/podcasserole.
Oh, the Whistler still has me rolling. He's timeless. He could probably do one of our birthday parties for a good price now.
Probably. I would watch a documentary about that guy.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure his life is crazy.
It's got to be.
I'm basing it off of whistling.
Uh-huh.
And how far can you go with a whistle?
I mean, I'm guessing that appearance on television was probably the height.
You think so?
Of his career.
You thought this was it? This is my takeoff right here.
Yeah, this is
my
it.
launch pad.
This is big time, baby.
We could have hired him for the birthday party last week.
We could have.
Yeah.
Oh, you want to talk about that?
Yeah, that was a fun party.
Yeah, we went to a friend of ours.
Yeah, the Kung Fu Saloon in Nashville, Tennessee. A fun spot.
Mm-hmm.
Had a surprise party for him there. Rented out a karaoke room. It's kind of like the new thing now is the barcade, but
Yeah,
some are
because
good, some are bad.
Why would you want to be why would you not want to be locked in a 12 by 20 room with people that some you know, some you don't, all screaming into a microphone
Exactly.
for endless hours?
And the alcohol was there. They made it all right.
I guess if you were consuming it.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
If not,
That's true. It was fun.
you're just looking at your watch a lot.
Yeah.
That was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
We had a good time. What do you think of the Kung Fu Saloon?
I've been to many barcades now. Well, many by 4 or 5.
Is that really a bar? I don't think it's a barcade.
It's a bar. I mean, if you have a bar with arcade machines in there, it's a barcade.
Yeah.
Lining the walls. They had foosball. They had, but there are better ones out there. The Rec Bar in Louisville is my favorite one so far. To
That
this
was
day.
really good. That was really good.
There's one pretty close. It's in the first week of operation called HQ in Nashville on 2nd Avenue. It's pretty good. It's more of an arcade with a bar to it, much like Rec Bar is. You have an actual arcade with a bar, where most of these places in Nashville are bars with arcade machines. It's a small difference, but it's a big deal. Mm-hmm. So I like the idea of that. We need a Rec Bar in Nashville.
Yeah, we do.
That's what we need.
And I know the owner of the one in Louisville has looked at Nashville,
Yeah.
but it's very expensive
And all
to
those pinballs there, all those pins.
open a business in downtown Nashville
Yeah,
these days.
I understand.
I don't know. I mean, obviously I had fun with you guys.
Yeah.
The bar itself, maybe a little too hipster
Think so? Yeah.
for me. I don't know.
It's Nashville. That's what they do now. That's what happens.
I guess. If you like to play Giant Connect 4
Yeah,
in the rain,
Yeah. There you go. That's
that's the place to go to do
They
it.
did have old McDonald's playground toys, like saws and seesaws we played on.
I wonder if those. Well, we didn't.
What's that? Oh, you did?
You did?
Yeah, many times.
When?
Many times. I have proof.
You were there like 3 hours. How could you get many times in?
I got 2 runs in.
You and who?
For strangers.
Really?
And my wife.
no,
Yeah, I'm serious.
really.
I'm serious. Collection Connection Josh has proof. He has video of it. I saw it. Put it on Instagram even.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Speaking of
fun.
which, go listen to Collection Connection.
Yeah.
Past couple of episodes have focused on Mr. T
Yeah.
and Silverhawks. Is that right?
Well, I haven't heard of the Silverhawks yet.
Silverhawks went
Okay,
up
nice.
this week.
Nice.
Did you collect Silverhawks? Were you aware?
No, that was a wee bit before me. Wee bit. I think wee bit.
Yeah, I didn't.
Was it like early? When was that?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Mid 80s, I'm guessing.
Well, listen to Collection Connection to find out.
Yeah, go find out.
I don't know if it was, maybe not before my time, but it was something happened. I was all G.I. Joes and Transformers. That was my life, with some sprinkling of Thundercats in there.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then the Hasbro WWF guys came along and changed my life forever.
Oh, they should do a show about that.
Then I always played with Little Men in Panties.
Okay. Anything else the last couple of weeks you need to catch us up on?
I think that's about it. I think that's it.
We went to a wedding.
Yeah, wedding was fun.
We went to a wedding
Yeah.
where I discovered that it's impossible for me
Oh, yeah.
to eat meat from the corpse.
Why is that? So you missed out. They actually, I guess, smoked a full-on pig all day. And it wasn't like, Joe Bob in his backyard. They had a
No. This was
a catered guy with
yeah.
a white suit and an executive chef.
This
Written
was
in cursive was on there.
straight legit.
Yeah.
Yeah, this isn't. Yeah, exactly. There wasn't like an apple in his
No.
mouth.
Actually, there was.
Over a spigot.
Well, there was an apple.
But I mean, it wasn't like.
Yeah. I took pictures. It was crazy, man. Crazy.
Uh,
I took fancy pictures. I have artistic pictures of that dead pig.
So we're going through. Well, that's good. You're broadening your
Yeah.
horizons as a videographer.
There you go. Yeah.
So we're going through the the food line, the serving line, and what is the word my wife used to describe me? Well, the nice one. Is it particular? Maybe particular.
That's a nice insult.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm very picky about what food I eat and where I eat it.
Really?
Yeah. And
Has it always been that way, or is that a recent thing?
No, it's always been that way. I mean, as a matter of fact, like my wife likes to bring this up. When we first met, we were working in the same radio station, and so when we first met, it was around Thanksgiving, and we were both working on Thanksgiving. And I'm in one studio, and she's in the other, and she had brought up food from her family's Thanksgiving, and I didn't know. I mean, I barely knew her. Certainly hadn't met any of her family yet, so this is almost like a stranger offering me food. She's like, "Hey, would you like some of the food from the?" No, that's okay.
Wow.
I went, yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I'm good.
So how do you ever eat at a restaurant? Those are strangers making your food, right?
Well, I think when you have the neuroses that I have,
Yeah.
you can rationalize some things and not rationalize others.
Huh.
But walking through that food line and seeing the pig and then seeing that the meat was actually being scooped from the carcass.
Yeah.
Nope.
Really?
I'm out. I'm out, baby. Now I trust that it was. You said it was the best barbecue you've ever had.
It was without a doubt the best barbecue.
And I
I've ever
believe
had.
you.
Yeah.
I totally believe that. I
Yeah.
mean, that seems like that would be the best barbecue ever.
Yeah.
Don't want to look it in the eyes before.
I mean, in the big picture, that is like the best. Because every barbecue you've ever had came from that exact same scenario.
Yeah.
Now, God knows what happened from the moment it left the pig's body to your plate.
Exactly.
But from this point here, you know exactly what happened.
That's
see
true.
It. So in theory, it should be the...
These are all valid points. I'm not going to argue that I'm sane in this situation.
Okay.
Yeah. And so, I've given up cheese.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's terrible.
Yeah, I gave up cheese.
Yeah.
So I'm not doing the barbecue.
Uh-huh.
I can't eat anything off a bone.
I know. Yeah. Or with your bare hands.
Yeah, I can't pull meat off the bone without bare hands.
Wow. Has that always been a thing, too?
That's been probably since I was in my mid to late 20s.
Really? Now, why is that? Because, people wash their hands before that.
I don't know. It's like the texture thing. I don't know.
Really?
Yeah.
So if you haven't had fried chicken in a long time, or any kind of chicken on the bone.
I can do chicken tenders.
Yeah. Gotcha.
Yeah. But no, I haven't had like fried chicken in a long
So when you eat
time.
chicken tenders, you eat those with a fork?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, my Lord.
Yeah.
Good gracious.
Yeah. Sometimes I can eat fries with my fingers, but a lot of times I eat fries with forks.
Wow.
But I don't eat fries anymore, so it doesn't matter. So it doesn't matter.
Huh.
But sometimes sometimes I can, like potato chips I can do, candy bars I can do.
Yeah.
But when it comes to like, was that chicken on the bone? What was that on
Chicken,
the bone?
yeah, it was chicken.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was chicken on the bone.
Oh.
Like I couldn't do it.
Wow.
So can't do cheese. Not eating barbecue from the corpse. Can't do chicken on a bone.
Wow.
Wasn't feeling fruit. So I got coleslaw and baked beans.
There you go.
That was.
Wow.
I walked by you, you're like, is that it?
Where's your other plate?
Right now it is.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
But man, am I becoming like?
Yeah, whatever you're going to say, yeah, is the answer to it.
Am I becoming Howard Hughes?
At least you know it's not normal. At least you know that.
I totally know it's not normal.
Yeah.
I'm aware that
Yeah.
I'm the one with the
I
problem.
think it's worse whenever people have those problems and they think we are the weird ones. But when you break it down and see that there's a problem, you can fix it.
The only thing that I am particular about
Uh-huh.
that I believe I am totally in the right is the thing that comes up constantly on this show,
Yeah.
and that's the cell phone use in the bathroom.
I can fight it all day.
I think I'm totally in the right on that.
We've talked.
That's the only one I feel like I'm totally in the right
I'll
on.
break your brain and tell you if you think fecal matter is on your phone, unless you poop butt naked and throw your clothes somewhere else while you're pooping.
How do you know I don't?
That may be possible. That means your shirt is covered in fecal matter right now.
How do you know when I feel like I've got to go to the bathroom, I don't like get the bathtub ready, like maybe put some. I don't. Wouldn't that be funny though?
Pretty good.
If like there was this whole like I've got to put water in the bathtub, I've got to put clothes washing detergent in the bathtub, and then I have to take all my clothes off.
Because
Go to the bathroom.
In that scenario, you have fecal matter all over your belt, your shoelaces, every time you tie your shoes. Imagine the poop.
Go shower afterwards.
Have you thought about that? If you poop with your shoes on, there's fecal matter on your shoelaces, and every
Yeah,
time you tie your shoes.
You take your clothes off when you go to the
Yeah,
bathroom.
but that's just for comfort. That's not for cleanliness. Like they're right next to me. I'm like a snake piled up. They're right next to me.
That's hilarious.
Like they touch my toes.
No, there's like a line from whenever you realize you had to go to the bathroom. I've witnessed this.
It's true. Yeah, I'm like a snake shedding my skin.
Yeah, there's like, there's a
sock,
shoe,
yeah.
there's a shoe, there's a sock, Oh, the pants.
It's like
there's
Superman.
a shirt.
It's like the Superman change. Bump, 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 bump. You see me going to the bathroom, taking my shirt off.
You know what's interesting? This is a completely different subject. I was rewatching the documentary about the death of Superman. The Death of Superman Lives.
Yeah.
What happened? I was rewatching that, and they were actually going to explain in that movie that the way he would change into a suit is that he would fly so fast that his clothes would just shred off of him.
Really?
Like they would burn and shred off of him.
Wow.
Yeah.
So every time you just ruin a suit.
Yep. Yep.
Wow.
Yeah. That is an interesting documentary.
I need to watch that. I do.
There's one on Amazon now called what is it called? It's about Bill Finger.
Oh, yes.
Batman and Bill.
I saw it last night for the first time.
Is that good?
I mean, I saw it was on there. I didn't watch
okay.
it. I need to watch it.
Yeah, I want to see that.
But I just saw it was on there last night.
Basically, the documentary of how important Bill Finger was in the development of Batman and the Batman universe, and got zero credit.
Yeah.
Because basically Bob Kane's a big douche.
Right. Pretty much. But it was a good wedding. Back to the wedding talk.
Oh, yeah, the wedding, like it's kind of weird that it's a wedding that you were hired to shoot.
Right.
To be the videographer for, that also happened to be my wife's cousin.
Right.
That was getting married.
Yeah.
So we were all there.
Right, yeah. Even my wife was there as my second shooter.
As your second shooter.
It was the whole big deal.
She was in the grassy knoll.
Yeah.
The whole time in the grassy knoll.
Yeah. But it was fun. It was a good one.
We did have a good time.
Yeah.
I felt because it was the first time that we've experienced this, where you're there for work and I just happened to be there.
Yeah.
So I was like, I tried to be real careful about how much I like pulled you to the side.
It was good. I have a lot of good shots of you. Don't worry.
I bet you do. Sure you do.
Actually, not too many. I know you and yours aren't the favorite camera people, so I stayed away.
Oh,
mostly.
mine are. I'm not.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Everybody but me.
Yeah.
Loves the camera.
Yeah.
I don't. There was one time when your wife was doing I don't know what your term would be for it.
Like a pan?
Like a pan.
Okay, yeah.
She was panning.
Yeah.
And I noticed that she was, and she pans past, and I just kind of look up and stare at her.
Just like a mole.
Yeah. But yeah, it was fun. We had a good time.
Yeah. A very good band afterwards as well.
I guess they played with Kid Rock. Do you remember the name of them?
I've got it written. I mean, it's in the video, but I forgot.
Yeah. Smokey Joe.
They played all kinds of stuff from like Tupac to Katy Perry. I mean,
they did play Katy Perry.
Yeah. Once you left, they played California Lovin'. Or
Oh,
Dreamin',
no, they played
California, No Doubt
California
About It.
Love?
Yeah.
Well, I enjoyed the Southern Rock version of Katy Perry.
Oh, yeah.
Roar.
And were those not the best temporary restrooms you've ever had in your life?
Those were fantastic.
Those are nice.
Very fancy outdoor bathrooms.
When you see like a temporary porta potty, you're like, oh, man, this is a trailer. But inside was the fanciest bathroom you've ever seen.
Yeah.
With mints.
There were mints.
And art on the walls.
And nice soap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
It was great. Mm-hmm. Yeah, well done. I mean, for a big like country outdoor wedding, that was great.
A+.
It was fantastic.
Yeah.
Kudos. I'm sure the video will be fantastic.
We'll see. Who knows?
If you would like to hire Adam, plug your website.
Yeah, atpfilms.com. Get me.
Do you want to talk about your other side project you have?
Do I have a? Oh, yeah, if we want. Yeah, sure.
Do you want? Because we haven't. Because we wanted to make sure that everyone enjoyed this. But I
Right.
think 4 episodes. Is it 4?
Yeah, well, today 4 comes out. Yeah,
I think 4 episodes in.
Yeah.
This is a thing now.
I have a small side podcast. We've all done many podcasts throughout the years. We have one now called Marital Games. That's myself and my wife Cassie. So she's pretty much brand new to video gaming for the most part, and I, of course, am not. And so we break down a semi-classic game that everyone should know or should play each week, or every 2 weeks now, and we talk about that and break it down from our perspective. Me playing games for 30-plus years, and she is a pretty new prospect to gaming. So we kind of play the same game and talk about it, and the marital side of it. Marital games.
I feel bad after listening to a few episodes.
Why's that?
Because you don't argue with her nearly as much as you argue with me.
Well, I think we are
because there's repercussions.
That's true as well. But thinking that way, we're on the same plane. So we have the same, not same outlook of things, but I think I can say things that would make sense. But someone who hasn't played a long time, and they play Plants vs. Zombies,
right?
And they say it's one of the greatest games of all time. I can't say no because they haven't played BioShock, they haven't played Fallout, they haven't played Knights of the Old Republic. So I just give a thumbs up and say, yeah. Where if you said that, I'd be like, what the hell's wrong with you?
Plants vs. Zombies is great.
Yeah. That's the difference.
It.
Yeah, you have to go from a different perspective. It's fun to play that stuff. It's good.
Will you please make her play GTA?
That's coming down the pike.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or what are you going to start with?
I don't know. I guess it's got to be one of the newer ones. It'd have to be, right?
Yeah, I'd go with 4.
Yeah, or 5. I mean, why not 5?
Yeah, you can start with 5.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. Standalone story.
I mean, 5's a good story. I think 4, 5 has a good story, I think.
You're going to take her online and let her multiplayer?
Just get pwned all day? But that'll come soon. That and decide between Fallout or Skyrim. I don't know which one would be better for her as a newish gamer.
Not Skyrim.
You think so? A little too fantasy deep?
Yeah.
I think Fallout
I tried to get my niece to play Fallout, and she just got bored with it really fast. Fallout 4.
Really?
She got bored before you made your character and actually started the story.
What is before that? What's happening before that? Just Ron Perlman talking about war? She was done?
Pretty much, yeah. When the whole like scenes with the husband and wife and the setup basically.
Yeah. Wow.
Then the vault guy comes to the door.
Yeah. That part's awesome.
I thought so too.
Wow.
But I could just tell by the look on her face.
Yeah.
Oh, you're bored, aren't you?
That's for some, certain people.
Yeah.
Yeah. Certain people have certain likes. I watched The Notebook last night for the first time.
Oh, how was that?
It was interesting.
I bet.
Have you seen that before?
Hey, I always I've seen The Notebook.
Yeah.
Not my kind of movie.
That is like an abrupt, sad ending.
But I love Silver Linings Playbook. See, I can be into different movies.
Yeah.
But I think Silver Linings Playbook is a fantastic movie.
Really?
unless you hate Jennifer Lawrence, like someone that we're very close to does.
Yeah.
And she will not give that movie a chance, no matter how much I tell her it's good.
Really?
I digress.
Really?
Yeah.
I did see La La Land finally.
Oh, was that good?
Fantastic.
It came down to, we were going to watch the other night La La Land, Moana, or Split. Mm-hmm. And we ended up with Moana.
I didn't like that one so much.
I
thought I
it was
would.
fun.
And I'm like,
I thought it was fun.
I thought I would like it more. I think I almost hyped myself up too much for that. But
Yeah.
La La Land is fantastic.
Really?
It's great.
Well, you love musicals.
Yeah, it's really good.
So,
And it's weird because it's like it is, but it's not a musical. No spoilers, but it has maybe 4 songs in it. Like the movie starts with this huge number
on the freeway.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I knew nothing about that until I saw it. But it opens up with that. You're like, wow, this is like a hardcore musical. And after that, you maybe have 3 songs, maybe through the whole movie. So it's has music in there, but not a musical. It's weird to describe it.
Yeah, but when they do it, they're huge productions.
Oh yeah,
right?
yeah. I mean, floating in the air and huge productions, but it's not every 10 or so minutes like your standard musical would be.
Is that something that you could see coming back?
I think so, especially in this style here. Like it's just the way it was. This was shot and filmed like a 1940s musical, like on a soundstage.
But it's
and had that
modern.
Theme. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but it
just
totally
shot like
felt like if that subgenre of movies came back today, and so well done. Didn't expect. I kind of got it just on a whim. Like, it's a good one.
Which is perfect for Emma Stone and
Ryan Gosling.
Ryan, they both kind of have that classic Hollywood look.
Yeah,
especially Emma Stone. Mm-hmm. I mean, she looks straight out of a 1940s
the big eyes, the lips,
MGM
and the
movie.
Frail body.
Yeah,
a little creepy there, but the frail porcelain tender body.
Oh, okay. I was just saying she's got a classic look.
Smells like an old mustard jar.
Oh right. Well, I don't know why you had to get all Buffalo Bill with it. It puts the lotion on. Yeah. I mean, I would watch La La Land. Like I was going to. Like I told my wife, we can watch La La Land. If you want to.
Has she seen it yet?
No.
Oh yeah, she'll like it too.
And she said, "Well, we can watch Moana."
I mean, it's shot amazingly well. It's good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. There are so many movies that I missed in the theater. Like I haven't seen Logan yet.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I know what happens.
You can go to,
but
is it Atlanta? Some theater one night only showing a black and white version of it, which to me would take out so much of it.
Yes,
it would look cool, but at the same time, this is rated R for that hardcore violence and blood and gore.
Yeah,
and with the rated R, you're just getting that 68 Night of the Living Dead chocolate syrup look.
I think it's promotion for the Blu-ray
Probably
release,
so,
right?
Yeah, because I think it'll be on there as well, maybe.
Logan.
Yeah.
Oh, will it?
I think so. I think I've heard that.
Oh,
don't
cool.
quote me.
Like you buy the Blu-ray and then you get to watch it in black and white.
Yeah.
Black and white. Oh, that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm trying to think if I watched anything else of interest in the last few days.
I've just had 2 Ryan Gosling movies the past week.
What was the other one?
Notebook.
Oh, Notebook. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you should watch Blade Runner when it comes out this summer.
Oh, yeah.
He's in it. Did you see the original Blade Runner?
I actually never have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's good.
That was Ridley Scott, right?
Yeah, it was Ridley Scott.
There we go.
You might hate it.
That and Harrison Ford, huh?
Yep.
Sounds like a good recipe for disaster to me.
Wow. Your opinion varies from most.
That's true. I agree. Yeah.
But Ridley Scott's not doing the second one.
No, really?
Batista's in it.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh. Okay.
I think he's in it. Because he was talking about it on that podcast I was listening to. Did I mention that on this or the Patreon show? I think it's on the Patreon show.
Yeah, it's all running together.
But I think Dave Bautista's in it. Harrison Ford's in it, but I think this is a Ryan Gosling. And I mean, this is to set him up.
Really?
To go forward with more Blade Runner movies.
He's the Shia LaBeouf of this movie?
Yeah. I guess our culture peaked in the 80s, early 90s.
What do you mean?
Well, I mean, everything that comes out is just, hey, we're bringing back Alien. Hey, we're bringing back Blade Runner. Hey.
It's the age of the remake. I mean, I think they had fantastic originality and ideas and concepts back then that the technology wasn't up for yet. Mm-hmm. And I think now it's boosted up. I mean, the ideas, the prequels could have been amazing if they had proper. I mean, the script may not have been so bad if proper actors and especially if the CGI backdrops weren't there. If those movies were made with good actors and the effects of like The Force Awakens, they would be fantastic movies. But because of what they were, they're frowned upon. Mm-hmm. I think people see it now like, hey, let's remake it and make him actually scary, and let's remake Blink. And I think it's successful. I think for the most part,
these superhero movies can fall into that because they are.
I mean, Superman. Look, I mean, you love Christopher Reeve's Superman, but look at the effects. Come on.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah,
you're right. But for the
time,
for the time.
But we also, I mean,
yeah,
a Charlie Chaplin movie for the time was good, but now it's laughable. We have to advance with the process.
I don't think some of this. I mean, the wire stuff is still good in the original Superman. The green screen, not so much. I was thinking about this because Ant-Man was on the other day, and we were watching a little bit of Ant-Man, and I think with the superhero, and this occurred to me, and we talked about it when Ant-Man was out. Ant-Man was basically a heist movie. What I find interesting that Marvel is doing with these movies is that they really are kind of creating original stories. Like, for instance, Winter Soldier was an espionage movie. You know, that was a spy movie, like Captain America: Winter Soldier.
Yeah,
that's basically what that was. Ant-Man was a heist movie. You are getting kind of fun takes on classic premises, just with familiar heroes. It's not like they're rehashing the plot lines of old superhero movies.
Yeah, right.
So I guess in that instance, you do get some freshness in these superhero movies. Like, honestly, Spider-Man Homecoming looks like it might be a teen comedy.
Yeah, pretty much. That's what style it is.
Yeah. So I think that's kind of cool. And I'm wondering if eventually we hit a point with the superhero movies where they start rehashing, oh, this is just the Iron Man movie over again.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
I think it'll happen.
Probably.
And that's not a bad thing. I mean, how far... I've always thought the same for music. We love music, we love notes, we love melodies. But is music infinite? Will there be a point in time and culture and in history where every single combination of notes has happened? I mean, we're kind of coming to it now. Like, you have original songs that sound like something from 50 years ago. Original compositions that sound like stuff from 10 years ago. In 100, 500, 1,000 years, will music die and the originality go away? I mean, will there be a certain time where you can't have any more rhythms and beats and melodies because we've heard them all before? And will the same thing happen with plots of video games and movies and comics? I mean, there's got to be a point that can't be infinite. They can't be.
Well,
There's got to be a stopping point.
With music, what's cool about music over the years is sounds that are developed that we consider to be music that really aren't music.
Yeah.
And dubstep's a prime example of that. You consider that to be music, but it's really just electronic sound effects. And I don't mean that to be an offensive statement.
Yeah.
But it is. It's electronic sounds, not necessarily music.
Yeah.
But at this point in history and over the last few years, we have considered that music. We've considered that part of the EDM music.
Yeah. Those are still notes. I just wonder how long those notes will go. It's like Sonic. What does Sonic have? Like 32,000 combinations of drinks?
Yeah.
But in the actual, if you look at their flavors, they have about 16 or maybe 20 flavors. But those can be combined so many ways, just like a musical note. I mean,
or like colors.
Yeah.
You know, colors are almost infinite.
Like the note chart, A to G, sharps, flats, but that's pretty much what you're working with.
Yeah, it's just how you mix it up.
How you mix it up. So how far can that go for music? And like we said with this here, plots of movies. Like in 1,000 years, if we're still around, if this place still exists, and they're making movies, will there be any original ideas 1,000 years?
Yeah.
Especially, I mean, if we're rehashing stuff from cinema is what, give or take 100 years old? And we're already rehashing sometimes 3-4 times over the same story?
Well, from 30 years ago.
Yeah. So think about 1,000 years from now. It's going to be straight remakes. It's got to be. There will be nothing at all original left. And that's not like a humbug kind of statement. That'll be a fact at that point.
Well, and I mean, it's okay, though, because I think some of it, to an extent, it's okay. Because if you have a classic story, I mean, that's just the history of drama and theater.
And things change.
Shakespeare writes a classic story. You see that staged, that same story, different cast, different setting, over and over and over again through history.
Yeah.
So if you get a classic story, I can see where you want to retell that story, maybe, and put a different twist on it.
And cultural things change to create plots like that, but I guess that will keep the freshness going. I mean, Mallrats couldn't have been made in the 20s. There were no malls for the most part. You've Got Mail could not have been made in the 60s. There was no email. Stuff like that changes progression like that will give us more plots, but as far as your base, boy meets girl, girl's family hates boy, and blank happens, that can only be told so many times.
Yeah.
Scary thought. The end of plots as we know it.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Well, what we're going to talk about coming up is...
very interesting.
It is very interesting. It is basically a TV theory that spans over 400 TV shows in the last 40, 50 years of television.
Crazy.
And how all these shows are connected. And we'll discuss that
next.
Hi, this is Siri. I would never ever listen to the Earth Station 1 podcast. Who the heck says howdy anyway? Why don't you listen to Chris Hardwick instead? I can get you his information. The Nerdist is everywhere anyway, haha. That was a joke. The Earth Station 1 podcast. It's time to let your inner geek out to play. You can find them at www.earthstation1.com or up on iTunes, Stitcher Radio, or wherever fine podcasts are found. Peace, and we're done.
Right, if you don't know, that is the theme from the 1980s TV show St. Elsewhere, a show you're not familiar with.
Yeah, I've heard of it many times. I've never actually watched it before, though.
St. Elsewhere was about the staff and the patients of the fictitious St. Eligius Hospital in Baltimore, Maryland, or Boston, Massachusetts.
Right.
Boston, Massachusetts. Sorry, it was in Boston. And it was just basically a procedural show. It was a medical procedural show, and it was long running, and it kind of created or really pushed the careers of actors like Ed Begley Jr. He was on there. Howie Mandel was on the show. Denzel Washington was on the show. What's the teacher from Boy Meets World? Mr.
Feeney.
Yeah. Who was also the voice of Kit on Knight Rider. He was like the star of the show. He was like head of surgery. And, it was on NBC. It was just a drama. And basically it kind of blazed the trail for shows like ER. It would be a prime example. Or even Grey's Anatomy, because there was a lot of soap opera drama stuff on St. Elsewhere too. And, it ran for several years, started in the mid-'80s, and ended in 1988. So a lot of times when they know the show is going to end, you get a fun ending episode. You remember Seinfeld? The way Seinfeld ended. And so they tried to come up with a way to end the series of St. Elsewhere. Now, I want to tell you, like I'm aware of a lot of what we're going to talk about. I wasn't aware of how extensive this is, but this was really rekindled in my mind by listening to an episode of the podcast Stuff You Should Know. A couple of weeks ago, they did a show about crazy fan theories about TV shows, and they talked about this theory. So I want to give credit where credit is due, because it was that episode of Stuff You Should Know that really got me looking this up and researching this. And then when I told you about it, we should talk about this.
Yeah, totally.
This is kind of crazy. So when they end St. Elsewhere, they wrap up some medical stuff, and then it goes to a scene in an apartment. And it kind of pulls out, and the apartment door opens, and you see the actor who had played the medical director of the hospital walk in. But he's dressed in a blue collar, he's got a lunchbox, and it's clear he's playing a different character than he was on the show. Then you see him talk to an old man in a chair, and when he drops the paper, you see it was the head of something in the hospital, and he calls him Pop or Dad. And in the show, St. Elsewhere, they're not related. But this one character does have an autistic son named Tommy Westphall. And this is the final scene in the TV show St. Elsewhere.
He's been sitting there ever since you left this morning, just like he does every day. A world of his own.
Careful with that, son. Remember I told you that? I don't understand this autism thing, Pop. Here's my son. I talk to him. I don't even know if he can hear me. He sits there all day long in his own world, staring at that toy. What's he thinking about?
So the autistic kid, is holding a snow globe. And he's just staring into it, and then, when the scene ends, they take the snow globe, put it on a shelf. When it pans out, you see the snow falling in front of St. Eligius Hospital. So this entire series was just in this autistic boy's mind. That's how they end the show. It just happened in his head. It was all made up.
Which is a crazy thought to begin with. A cool way to end the show.
Right.
But it doesn't end there.
No.
Literally.
It doesn't end there. And I'm going to kind of set this up and then let you kind of talk about what you found. So on Stuff You Should Know, they referenced this article. And so I went and found this article. This comes a few years ago from Pace.com. And basically, you start seeing where if you take the premise that the series St. Elsewhere was all in Tommy Westphall's mind, then what else was just in his mind? And it starts with doctors from St. Elsewhere once visited the bar on an episode of Cheers because they were both in Boston. Mm-hmm. So the doctors from St. Elsewhere visit Cheers as the characters from St. Elsewhere. So now Cheers...
anything related to Cheers has that correlation.
Anything related to Cheers. Cheers, of course, was spun off into Frasier. The lead character, John Hemingway, of the John Larroquette Show, called into Frasier Crane's radio show on Frasier. So John Larroquette, playing the character that he plays on his own show, called in to Frasier. So now anything related to the John Larroquette Show is part of the Tommy Westphall universe. The John Larroquette Show mentions the fictional tech company Yoyodyne, which produces technology in Star Trek. Yoyodyne was also a client of the demonic law firm Wolfram and Hart on Angel. So now, all of the Star Trek universe
That's crazy.
And all of the Buffy universe, which was the spinoff of Angel was a spinoff of Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Everything in Star Trek and Buffy through the Yoyodyne Tech Company is part of the Tommy Westphall universe. Another client of Wolfram and Hart was the tech company Weyland Yutani, which made some of the weapons on Firefly, another Joss Whedon show. So now, Firefly, Angel, Buffy, Cheers, all the Star Trek universe. You start to see how this happens.
It just spreads out like a spider web.
All these shows start falling into this one boy's mind. A Weyland Yutani ship is also seen on in the spaceship graveyard in the British sci-fi series Red Dwarf. Okay? So now everything in Red Dwarf. Oh, right. And this is where it just blows my mind. The TARDIS from Doctor Who also appears in the hangar bay of the ship in Red Dwarf, and thus Doctor Who was also created in the mind of Tommy Westphall. And then Pace.com says, let's make this clear. This is the average string of associations. Some of them go far deeper and further. In some cases, a single character has greatly expanded the Westphall universe. Case in point, Detective John Munch, originally played by Richard Belzer on Homicide: Life on the Street. There was a detective from Homicide, because Homicide started as St. Elsewhere was ending. In one of the final seasons of St. Elsewhere, a detective from Homicide: Life on the Street investigated, as the character from that show, investigated the doctor on St. Elsewhere as a murder suspect. So now the Homicide verse is part of the St. Elsewhere verse just because of the crossover, and it's all in this boy's head. So John Munch, who was played by Richard Belzer, travels, he appears in at least 8 other shows as that character. I think he's still on Law & Order SVU as John Munch.
Really?
I think so. So all the Law & Order shows, he appeared on the X-Files, where he interrogated the lone gunman. So now the X-Files, as part of this universe, he appeared on The Wire as Detective John Munch, and even appeared on 30 Rock as Detective John Munch.
I know, the character was so dominant.
Yeah. So this is just an example of how this one, way this show ended is starting to string all these shows together. Yeah. What's some of the stuff that you found?
I mean, just looking at the master list is what is just blowing me away. The master list, as of right now, the researchers updated in August of 2016, so almost a year ago was the last update. But as of right now, 419 shows in the Tommy Westphall universe, multiverse, that is. I mean, if you go to the list of the master list, just Beverly Hills 90210, 24, The Addams Family, Alf, All in the Family, All My Children, Ally McBeal. I mean, it's even American Horror Story Murder House. It's and those are just in the beginnings of the A's.
Yeah.
Overall, 419. Like I said, the Honeymooners somehow is even on there. I'm not sure how that. I haven't looked it up yet, but the Honeymooners is on there.
Here's an example of how this happens. Like we've already established since Fraser Crane was on Cheers. He was a character on Cheers.
Right.
And the doctors from St. Elsewhere visited Cheers. That's
Yeah.
really where this starts. That everything connected to Cheers. And here's how it gets so crazy. And this comes from, this is the, and let me give you the website here, because you should, if you want to see all this, go to the Tommy Westphall, and that's WESTPHALL.wordpress.com. And for the last decade, these guys have been keeping up with this theory and kind of mapping it out through TV history. Frasier's Niles and Daphne read Caroline in the City's comic strip. Remember Caroline in the City?
Yep.
That starred Leah Thompson?
Yeah.
Caroline in the City's Caroline wished the single guys, Jonathan, good luck. So they connected those two shows. Caroline in the City's Annie was hit on by Friends Chandler. Also on an episode of Friends, Chandler and Joey tried to impress Caroline in the City's Caroline with Ross's baby Ben. So now all those shows are connected.
Yeah.
I mean, and they did that purpose. I mean, all those shows take place in the same universe. But since Frasier came from Cheers, it's all in the St. Elsewhere universe. Wow. Friends Ross visits the single guys, Jean Ann. And then Friends Joey spun off onto his own show, Joey. Friends Phoebe and Mad About You's Ursula are twin sisters.
Really?
Yeah.
Whoa, I didn't know that.
Mad About You's Paul leased his old apartment to Seinfeld's Kramer. And Mad About You's Paul did a documentary narrated by the Dick Van Dyke Show's Alan Brady. Alan Brady was the character from the Dick Van Dyke Show.
Wow.
So now everything connected to the Dick Van Dyke Show goes to this. Let's see. Here's one. So through the Dick Van Dyke Show, you get connections to the Danny Thomas Show, to Here's Lucy, which was Lucille Ball's second show. Here's another string of how this happens. Here's Lucy, Lucy Carter, and Mannix's Mannix are held hostage in an episode of Here's Lucy. So the old classic crime show Mannix, that character appeared on this show. Mannix returned to TV in an episode of Diagnosis Murder to solve an old unsolved case with the help of Dr. Mark Sloan, Dick Van Dyke's character on Diagnosis Murder. Diagnosis Murder, Dr. Jesse Travis' father is a spy that somehow is trying to that someone is trying to kill. One of the possible suspects is the original Mission Impossible's Cinnamon Carter. So now Mannix, Diagnosis Murder, Mission Impossible. Diagnosis Murder was a spinoff of Jake and the Fat Man.
Wow.
So do you remember this show we make fun of all the time, Jake and the Fat Man?
Oh yeah.
So now Jake and the Fat Man's connected to this. Diagnosis Murder, Dr. Mark Sloan was defended by, guess what lawyer defended him when he was put on trial?
What's that?
Matlock.
Wow.
Like, it was Andy Griffith as Ben Matlock. Matlock, All My Children, Emergency, Miami Vice, Quincy Emmy, and The Young and the Restless all feature characters traveling on the fictional Trans-Global Airlines. So now all these shows are connected through the airline Trans-Global. Let me drop down. There's another one of those. An episode of Diagnosis Murder featured the fictional Oceanic Airlines. 2 episodes of the CBS show Jag included the same fictional airline.
Not Jag.
Oh, yeah. Jag spun off NCIS. NCIS's Backdoor Pilot was a 2-part episode of Jag. So they take place in the same world as this world where Oceanic Airlines exist. NCIS has spun off into NCIS New Orleans and NCIS LA. NCIS LA and Hawaii Five-0 worked together in a crossover episode to stop a smallpox outbreak. So now it's connected to Hawaii Five-0. The airplane that crashed and stranded the cast of Lost was, of course, Oceanic Airlines Flight 815, featured on all these shows, including Diagnosis Murder. Oceanic Airlines is also featured on advertisements and computers in a terminal at the TV show LAX, which was a fictional TV show about Los Angeles International Airport. The family on Fox's series The War at Home took a trip using fictional Oceanic Airlines, which also appears on Lost, Jag, and Diagnosis Murder. Where's the... in a January 25th episode of Veronica Mars, Veronica's fortune contained the numbers that won Hurley from Lost the lottery. So now you're connecting Veronica Mars to all this.
That's insane.
There's more with the Oceanic Airlines. I can't find it here, but Oceanic, like there was an episode of Chuck where they're talking about terrorist attacks, and they reveal it was a terrorist attack that took down Oceanic Airlines 815 or 816, whatever it was on Lost. And so this just goes on and on and on.
Different Strokes, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, like you said, Alf, Addams Family, I believe even the Munsters somehow. It's crazy.
There's one more I want to get to about the college. Let me see if I can scroll down here. Oh, here's the one you were talking about before we started. The Morley cigarettes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Morley cigarettes have been on many different shows. Jack Bauer smokes a Morley light on 24. Violet has a pack of Morley lights in American Horror Story, Murder House. Morleys are smoked in The Americans, Becker. Morley lights, several characters on Breaking Bad smoke Morleys. Burn Notice features Morley cigarettes in prominent episodes. Californication ties to Morley cigarettes. Dick Van Dyke Show ties to Morley cigarettes. And Morley cigarettes are the cigarettes that are smoked by the smoking man on The X-Files, which we already know are connected because Detective John Munch appeared on The X-Files to interrogate the lone gunman.
Right.
So that connects Morley cigarettes to all of this. And through Morley's, the Walking Dead, and then they also make the connection, the blue meth on Breaking Bad to the blue meth on Walking Dead. Prison Break features Morley cigarettes. Teabag from Prison Break appears on Breakout Kings, which is another TV show. That character appears on that show. Crime Scene, CSI has the Morley cigarettes connection.
Just insanity.
Yeah, there's one I wanted to get to about a school that has been used on several shows that connects to all this. That connects a lot. Oh, here we go. Characters from various Law & Order series have attended, referenced, or visited Hudson University, the fictional university, which is also where Cliff Huxtable of The Cosby Show attended medical school, where Degrassi, the next generation's Jimmy Brooks, got into law school. It also appears as the home of various victims and crimes in Castle. Arrest and murders on Blue Bloods take place at Hudson University. It's also used in Unforgettable, and also Jessica Fletcher from Murder, She Wrote taught criminology at Hudson University. J.T. Forbes from Beauty and the Beast is a biochemistry professor at Hudson University, and it's also the location of Firestorm, among other things, on Arrow.
Wow. So Jimmy Brooks from Degrassi, that's Drake, the rapper. That's
who
played that role.
Wow. So now you have the connection to Hudson University through Firestorm on Arrow. Arrow spun off The Flash. The Flash has appeared on an episode of Supergirl. The Flash from 1990 exists in a parallel universe, The Flash from 2014, though I don't think they've actually said that. Murder, She Wrote spun off, The Law and Harry McGraw. Murder, She Wrote had 2-episode crossover with Magnum P.I. Simon and Simon crossed over with Magnum P.I. Sam Beckett from Quantum Leap knew a minor character on Magnum P.I.
Really?
Yeah.
So even Sam Beckett is in his mind.
Yep.
Wow.
Like you said, over 400 TV shows.
Yeah.
It's almost like name a show and you can connect it to...
That's kind of like the really crazy version of a Kevin Bacon game.
Yeah, well, it's called 8 Degrees of Tommy Westphall, or 6 Degrees, 8.
I don't think you need 3. It's just there. That's crazy.
Because a lot of TV shows are naturally connected. Like if you go to, all you got to do is make a connection to All in the Family, and which they do. I won't go into it, but there is a connection. I think
it's there.
It might be the Morley cigarette connection.
It's possible.
Could be. Once you make the connection to All in the Family, then you got All in the Family and the Jeffersons and all these other shows that are connected to All in the Family. And that just builds this universe. Now, there is a theory that Hollywood writers know this.
You think so?
So they purposely try to write to connect to this ongoing universe.
That's possible.
I didn't look up. The Alf and Mr. Robot, Alf appeared on Mr. Robot, right?
Yeah.
But it was just a vision or a dream or something. So is that really a connection to Mr. Robot?
Maybe. Some of these are a stretch. They are.
Yeah. But yeah, if you want to find out more about this, like I said, just go to the website. You can read the pace.com article. If you Google, it's one of the first things that comes up. And you can also go to the Tommy Westphall .wordpress.com.
That's with a PH.
Yeah, it's with a PH. And there's, I mean, it's crazy. What does the About Us say? If you click on Keith Gow and Ash Crow began discussing the Tommy Westphall universe back in 1999 with other Denzians of alt.tv.homicide by 2000. Detective Munch had moved from Baltimore to New York. And, there was a character from St. Elsewhere made a cameo appearance in Homicide the Movie, which was a 2-hour movie they made. Oh, okay. So that even, like, furthers it. And then it goes into, and we should contact these guys.
We should. Bring them on the show.
Yeah. And talk about this. We can do that. They have some contact information there. But, yeah, when I heard this, it's just crazy.
It's
so
nuts.
what's some of your favorite shows that are connected here?
I mean, I need to look deep in to see how they are connected. But like I said, I saw the Addams Family in there. I saw Munsters. Alf stands out to me. Let me look at the master list again. It's all here. Geez, man, how is Bob Newhart? I guess that's in Beverly Hillbillies. How is Beverly Hillbillies on there? I have so many questions. Batman, the '66 Batman is on here.
Yeah,
it's crazy. I can go for days.
Well, and I know like the Yo-Yo-Dine company and that other tech company.
Of course, the Doctor Who tie-in. Yeah,
yeah, that's something that writers have used. Yeah. To like that's what Joss Whedon did.
Yeah.
Obviously, he was a fan of Star Trek, so he used Yo-Yo-Dine as one of the companies that Wolfram and Hart, that was one of their clients. So, but by doing that, he inadvertently put Buffy and Angel in this universe.
Yeah. Gidget. I love Lucy. The Honeymooners, man. The Honeymooners.
Yeah, and this website, man, they do such a good job of breaking down.
Yeah, it's a lot of time and work in there for sure.
Yeah. Here we go. Here's Lucy. Lucy was driven around Miami by Ralph Cramden in The Honeymooners. Mm-hmm. So The Honeymooners' Ralph Cramden was featured in segments of The Jackie Gleason Show. Here's Lucy's Mary Jane Lewis was originally a character on The Lucy Show, also called The Lucille Ball Show. The Lucy Show's Lucy Carmichael was accidentally drafted into Gomer Pyle, USMC's company, in an episode of The Lucy Show.
Wow.
Wow. Yeah. I mean, yeah. I mean, this makes the Lucy Desi Comedy Hour was a reworking of I Love Lucy. Adventures of Superman visited Ricky Ricardo on his birthday in an episode of I Love Lucy. The first episode of the Lucy Desi Comedy Hour explained how Lucy Ricardo met and became friends with private secretaries Susan McNamara. The character Susan McNamara never appeared on I Love Lucy, but the show does touch I Love Lucy. So, yeah, that's just one of those 60 shows.
Yeah.
That ties into the Joey Bishop show and then the Andy Griffith show. I mean, it just goes on and on. It's ridiculous.
There's a big cluster. There's a show I watched back in the 90s, I believe it was, maybe 80s, late on Nick at Night. It was called Hi, Honey, I'm Home. And it was modern-day show. The first time Nick at Night did a modern-day show, but it was all in like black and white, but it was kind of, if I remember right, it was an old sitcom family, and they had to be relocated to a new community for kind of think of a retirement home, but it's all old sitcom families move here when they become irrelevant. So this was a big cluster for this theory here, because on Hi Honey I'm Home it had like a 13 episode run, very short run, but each episode a different family from a different sitcom would be in there on that one show and come in as neighbors. You have
as the characters.
The Cleavers came in there. I mean, different people came in from different shows. So once it was connected to that show, it branched out massively from there as well. So if you look at the Tommy Westphall universe, look at the Hi Honey I'm Home cluster right there. It's crazy.
I'm reading. Here it is right here, right now, and it talks about that. That can, you get more crossovers with Dick Van Dyke and Gomer Pyle. Mm-hmm. The Many Lives of Dobie Gillis title character crossed over onto Hi Honey I'm Home. Mm-hmm. Leave It to Beaver's June Cleaver crossed over to Hi Honey I'm Home. Leave It to Beaver was revived and reworked into Still the Beaver. The series changed its name to the new Leave It to Beaver. Eddie Haskell, who appeared in all the Beaver incarnations, appeared in an episode of Parker Lewis Can't Lose, which was an NBC show that was trying to cash in on the
Ferris Bueller
craze. Bud Bundy from Married with Children appeared in an episode of Parker Lewis Can't Lose. Married with Children's Marcy appeared in an episode of Nikki. Married with Children spun off Top of the Heap. Top of the Heap was reworked into Vinny and Bobby. Andrew Keaton from Family Ties appears in an episode of Parker Lewis Can't Lose.
Wow.
Spin City's Michael Flaherty left New York to work in Washington in a fight against Family Ties' Alex P. Keaton.
Yeah, that's played by the same actor. Yeah. They just talked about it, though.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. That's funny.
And then you talked about different strokes. A lot of that comes from, too, kind of like the Hi, Honey, I'm Home. At the end of Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, when they're ending the series, they're going to sell the mansion. So, like, every week, an old sitcom, somebody would come by as possibly wanting to buy the mansion. I remember it was Mr. Drummond and Arnold.
Oh, wow.
Was one of them. So you started getting characters like that because there's a Tommy Westphall connection to Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, and then once that starts happening, you have these different characters showing up. It just takes it to a whole new level.
Wow.
That tends to happen. That even happens with the 6 Degrees of Kevin Bacon. You have to have like a couple of big cast movies that Kevin Bacon's in, and then it just starts going crazy.
It's true.
Well, here's your new obsession for the week, is looking at how many shows are connected to this.
Yeah, you'll be just amazed by it, the Tommy Westphall universe.
It's so crazy.
And if that is the case, and not only are they connected, but they're all in a small kid's brain. It's all part of his imagination.
Yep.
Crazy, huh?
The Facts of Life.
Yeah.
Wow. I could keep going.
Yeah, you look all day at this stuff.
Yeah, you can.
Once you open up Doctor Who and Star Trek, the world is open. That's crazy.
Then you got Voyager, Deep Space Nine. I mean,
Yeah.
it's endless.
Yeah.
Like I said, you can go find this WordPress site and see the whole key and grid, and there's a whole like map of how these are all. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. It says the oldest show on the list is I Love Lucy, which first aired in 1951, and there are currently 49 shows on air that link to the Tommy Westphall universe. On air right now, 49.
Yeah, and half of them are Law and Order shows.
Yeah, pretty much, or CSI. Yeah.
Check us out online at adamandjp.com.
Please do. Always at facebook.com/AdamandJP as well, and on Twitter at AdamandJP.
I'm Jay Patrick. That's Adam.
Eat your podcast roll.
This has been a production of the Adam and JP family of on-demand talk radio.
AdamandJP.com.
Right now.
This has been a broadcast of the ESO Network, your station for all things geek, classic, current, and beyond. Be part of the crew at ESONetwork.com.